Hi everyone, today I'm delighted to share with you my presentation on bilingual ability and cross-cultural communication competence, how language skills and cultural understanding mutually reinforce each other. What happens when we learn a new language? Imagine acquiring a new language. What you gain isn't merely a communication tool but a key to unlock an entirely new world. Language and culture are inseparably intertwined. Bilingualism extends far beyond vocabulary and grammar. It represents a unique cognitive framework that shapes how we perceive, interpret, and navigate different cultural contexts. Today, I'll explore how bilingual abilities and cross-cultural competencies enhance and reinforce each other. My investigation employed a mixed methods approach of combining a comprehensive literature review, analyzing case studies on bilingualism and cultural competence. Case study analysis examine real-world examples in educational and professional settings. Theoretical framework development integrating social linguistic and intercultural communication methods. Professor Michelle Byron, influential model of intercultural communicative competence, demonstrates that language serves as much more than a tool for information exchange. It provides access to entire cultural frameworks and worldviews. As Byron notes, and I quote, language is not merely a means of pattern and categorizing experience, it is also an active, creative force. Language provides the means and categories for conceptualizing and memorizing experience. His research shows that bilinguals exhibit greater sensitivity to cultural nuances embedded in language. Consider Japanese honorifics or the TV distinction in French. These aren't just grammatical forms but reflections of social relationships and cultural values. This perspective helps us understand why true cultural understanding requires more than translation. It demands engagement with the language itself. The fascinating research by Chen and Bond on bicultural identity integration reveals how bilingualism facilitates the development of dual cultural schemas or mental framework. They study used an experimental method with female bilingual participants who were proficient in both English and Chinese. Participants were interviewed under four conditions with standardized scripts, and their personalities were rated by observers based on eight traits. The study controlled for gender and ethnicity by having male interviewers and ensuring they faced specific ethnic appearances. The efforts of language and ethnicity of personality were examined by comparing participants' responses in English and Cantonese. In summary, participants were rated as more extroverted, open, assertive, helpful, and intellectually capable when speaking with Caucasian interviewers compared to Chinese interviewers. When speaking with Chinese interviewers, they were rated higher in these traits when speaking English rather than Cantonese. There were no significant differences in emotional stability, and participants were perceived as more restrained with Chinese interviewers when speaking in English, but no difference were found when speaking in Cantonese. This phenomenon, sometimes called language-dependent recall, demonstrates how language activates associated cultural frameworks for bilinguals. This regular switching strengthens cognitive flexibility and the ability to recognize and adapt to different cultural expectations. Jean Marc, social linguistic research reviews unique communication advantages among bilinguals. His studies show that bilinguals develop more sophisticated pragmatic awareness, understanding what is appropriate to say, to whom, and in what context. The experience of navigating communication breakdowns also leads to more effective repair strategies and greater communicative patience. Based on these findings, I propose a mutually reinforced model of bilingualism and cross-cultural competence that operates as a cycle. Language acquisition stage. Initial language learning provides basic cultural knowledge and recognition of differences. Culture exposure stage. Culture experiences deepen language understanding by contextualizing vocabulary and pragmatics. Integration stage. Language and cultural knowledge begin to reinforce each other, creating more sophisticated understanding. Application stage. Bilingual individuals apply integrated knowledge to navigate complex cross-cultural situations effectively. This cycle continues throughout life as individuals deepen both their linguistic abilities and cultural understanding. The relationship between bilingualism and cross-cultural communication competence represents a powerful rather than merely skills. Language proficiency provides the cognitive tools and access points for cultural understanding, while cultural knowledge contextualizes deepens language use. This mutually reinforcing relationship creates a cycle where improvements in one area naturally enhance the other. By recognizing and leveraging this connection, we can develop more effective approaches to language education, cross-cultural training, and global communication. And these are my references. Thank you for your attention. I welcome your questions and insights.